Hello, folks. So today we have a game between two people that we've seen before. We have in the blue the bartender, and in the red Old Foil. These two are extremely low on the ELO ladder, and both of them have very different and very consistent strategies. Old Foil's strategy is to age up as fast as possible, take the mid, castle drop, go up to imp, castle drop again, castle drop opponent's base, start driving down their buildings, whereas the bartender strategy is to wall in their opponent. Now, this is one of the few games the bartender has played that is not on arena. You can see how walling in your opponent on arena might be easier, but not so much on an open map. So, I'm just going to start this and speed it up a little bit, since we know what both players are going for. We see the bartender, as usual, not building houses, going straight to berries, not building mill. And we see Old Foil not really doing anything, which is also pretty common for them. Bartender again, normally they build their walls right up against the walls of the arena, but I guess the edge of the map was the closest they could get. You see, it hasn't scouted a lot. Probably hasn't even. I guess they found hasn't. Yeah, they haven't found some of their sheep. They're just looking for their opponent right now. Whereas Old Foil actually doesn't have a super confusing start, except they tend to not make that many villagers. There's one to straggler tree, all to berries, just like bartender normally does. And at this point, the bartender decides, let me outpost the entire center. Now this is kind of interesting because we know Old Foil is going to go to the center. And the bartender, they're not walled themselves, they can't really wall their opponents, so they're just going to build outposts. You see neither of them doing particularly well with villagers. Keep that vill production up. Okay, we've got 3 outposts, making more outposts forward and attacking the scout. The bartender still does not know where Old Foil is. So they're just going to make more outposts, pretty much cover the entire area. And here Old Foil goes forward. It seems a little surprised at being attacked. Also doesn't know where their opponent is. The last game we saw with them, they took their opponent's boar. This time they're taking their own boar, not luring it at all. We see now the berry's done. Old bartender going to gold, going to stone without a mining camp. Very, very not efficient. And Old Foil going feudal, going to gold. Now at this point, we're walling in the opponent, just like the bartender's planning to do. This not the easiest thing to do on an open map like this, but you can see that isn't stopping the bartender. And Old Foil going to center, going to gold, trying to go up to castle as fast as possible. And you can see that that didn't go so well for the bartender. Now, what do? They're going up to feudal. This is the fastest feudal I have ever seen this player do. Normally they sit there for a while. Though maybe it just appears fast because Old Foil also took a really long time to go to feudal. But I have a feeling that the bartender's kind of trying to figure out what to do here. This is not their normal game plan. They're used to being able to build this wall. And you can see now they're just kind of trickling in spears. Spears, you can see the vills are just really wrapping those up. It's not the worst thing because those vills have to go idle every time they kill a spear, but there's definitely better units to send. Or if you just sent your spears as maybe a group of 5 or 6 instead of trickling them all in. You can see Old Foil still going exactly to game plan, going up to Castle Age. hasn't the bartender hasn't managed to take out a single villager with these spears. But we see they're also building the buildings to go up to castle. So they might be actually trying to rush a little faster. And you see castle goes up, starts taking down the outposts, and game over. So I've covered the issues that these players have in other videos, so this one will be a little short, but you can see definitely how Old Foil strategy does tend to work much better on an open map, works better against an opponent that is not building their own military, is not handling their economy well. You can see the bartender even has more vills, but just couldn't get up to castle as fast because, yeah, and this is how Old Foil wins. The bartender, on the other hand, their strategy does not work well on an open map because if you're going to straight up wall your opponent out or into their base, it might be good if there was already some sort of natural barrier. Anyway, that's all for now. Have a good one, folks. Until next time.